Good afternoon, and thanks for coming back to Christmas on World of Woodrow. Up next, it's This Week in Robot Combat. Good afternoon and welcome to This Week in Robot Combat. We're coming to you live from the world of the internet. I am John Woodrow, your host, as usual, in this ever bright room. I'm going to just switch on another lamp because it's just so dark. There we go. You can see my face now, a bit better at least. Hello, welcome to the show. We've got some Christmas lights going on over there. We've got the tree. There we go. We've got the sign. Got that. That's fun. It's new. Ooh, lots of new things, lots of fun things, and as usual, the big rug over there. We won't talk about that. Thank you once again for joining me for This Week in Robot Combat. Hope you are all well. I need to get my iPad so I can see what everyone is saying. That is what is happening. I am in a big rush because literally I've got all the stuff that I've just moved out of the way behind the camera at the minute. Just chucked the tree in. The loft hatch, which is up here, I've just had to move the ladder out of the way because I've been in the loft. Had to rush down because it's news time and you guys need some news. So fingers crossed this is all going according to plan and everything is working. Apologies for the stream I was going to do on Wednesday night. It all went a bit pants and I had to just quit doing that. It was not a fun time for me. So yeah, we've got news today. We're going to go over the stuff that I was going to cover on Thursday. Obviously, some of it's not news anymore. Some of it's already happened because BattleBots is on. But some of it is still news and some of it is fun stuff that we can cover. So, without further ado, it is time to crack on with some news. Let's begin then with this. The BattleBots calendar is up for order, I believe, on the BattleBots website, battlebots.com/shop, I think is the link. If not, then I'm sorry. But it's on the BattleBots store. And you can see here a confirmed fight that we didn't know about before. It's Hypershock versus Gruff, which is really cool. I'm excited for this fight. It looks really cool on the front of the calendar, and, you know, love a bit of Hypershock in my life. As you can tell, next to my tree is my sign. And if you want to see me making that sign, there's a video on the channel. It was for a competition that has since closed, and congratulations to our 3 sign makers who got first, second and third. We had Ian Miller, who did a wonderful Rusty sign. He came first. In second place, Caleb Kempson with an awesome Hydra sign. And in third place, a wonderful Jackpot sign made by Gareth Jones. So well done to all 3 of you. Your prizes are going to be ordered later today, so look forward to that. And yeah, it's going to be good fun. So yeah, that is the first bit of news. We move on to, of course, the trailers. We've all seen the trailers now. This is a really cool trailer. All the trailers are really cool, especially the I Like Big Bots trailer. Definitely the best trailer they've done. You can just see lots of stuff, including some more fights in there. If you look closely, we saw Endgame versus something there. I think I'm going to have to wait for it to come back around to check it out. But this was the intro to the episode. So if you've not gone and seen episode 1 of BattleBots, this is going to be full of spoilers, this news episode. So this is your spoiler warning, officially saying BattleBots spoilers are on the way. So look out for them. This episode, first episode, was really, really cool. Really enjoyable. Loved it. We had, of course, these fights. Whiplash versus Sawblaze, which we'll talk about in a bit. Mad Catter versus Fusion, which we'll also talk about in a bit. Axe Backwards versus Malice was over very quickly. Malice, very powerful machine. Very powerful indeed. Hit the fuel tank of Axe Backwards and it went boom, because Axe Backwards has flamethrowers this year. And flamethrowers need fuel. And unfortunately, that fuel combusts very easily. Bloodsport versus Scorpios, I think we're going to talk about in a bit. Captain Shredderator versus Lockjaw was an interesting fight. Captain Shredderator maybe on a bit more of a warpath this year. Rusty versus Sporkanock. Rusty! Yes! Yes! A win for Rusty. Yes! Hang on, I'm going to take my headphones off and grab a thing. Got this panel of the Bash that was sent to me, which on the other side has a picture of Rusty. Oh, lovely Rusty. Where should we put Rusty? Let's put Rusty here, shall we? Can you see him there? Yes, you can. That's fine. He's going to sit there. We like a bit of Rusty. We have Sharko versus Smee. Another very good fight. We'll talk a little bit about that in just a little bit. And of course the main event, Tombstone versus Endgame, which we shall come on to later as well. But those are the fights we are going to be covering today. As yet there has not been another fight card released, I don't think even to supporters. So BattleBots, if you want to let us know what's going on, I would love to know what's going on. That'd be lovely, thank you. So yeah, there is that trailer. Obviously, Rusty versus Sporkanock. Rusty A is quick. It is a brushless machine. People may not have known. And B can self-right, which also people didn't seem to believe. But it's a little bit of a case of I told you so, to everyone I speak to anyway. Rusty getting the first win of the series. I am concerned for the rest of the series because I have seen in the trailer for the series that was at the start of the episode that they're fighting Sawblaze, and I think they're also fighting Beta. So, Rusty, protect thyself, please. We don't want you getting hurt, little man. Can you imagine if Rusty just pulled out the upset of the season and beat Sawblaze? That'd be amazing. So obviously we had this as well at the end of the intro that shows off a few more fights. Lots of fights, in fact. We've got Endgame versus Hypershock, Kenny versus a bit of the Wall, Jackpot versus Sub-Zero we saw. Loads and loads of fights in that intro. Do go and make sure you run through it eagerly and with your eyes peeled, because you'll see some things in there that you may not have seen before. So yeah, do check that out. Make sure you go and watch episode 1. It is all over YouTube at this point in time, so yeah, get in there quick. Shh. We'll move on to, we got a clip earlier in the week of the intro to this fight, which is between the wonderful Fusion and Mad Catter. By God, this was an explosive fight, quite literally. Somebody pointed out, somebody said that Fusion looked like a fireworks box in our pre-season thing on the Robocast, and it proved to be true because it then burst into many flames. A really good fight, and again I called a Mad Catter win, so you know that's a good shout from me, I think personally, but I am biased because it is me. And you absolutely have to love the Mad Catter team. So the driver of Mad Catter is the guy who drove Lynx at Norwalk Havoc recently and won it. Won Norwalk Havoc, so we have a Norwalk winner driving Mad Catter this season. And of course, the man himself. Oh, you've got to love it. You've got to love it all. It's just so much fun. So much fun. Go and check out the episode, is all I can say, because that was a very good fight. Or I should say, that was a very good fight. Yes. All of the fights were pretty good, I think. I think the weakest fight may have been... I don't know. There was a couple of bit slower pace that next to all the others felt a little bit out of place, but maybe that's just because all of the others were knockouts. There was only one judge's decision, that was Sharko Smee, and the rest were all knockouts, so that is saying something. Now, there's an interesting twist this season. I'm going to read through this bit of the article. And it says there's also kind of a new twist coming this year in the form of bounty battles, which are one-off shows separate from the regular season and playoffs. 8 bots start at the beginning of the day, facing off against one another in a single elimination format until they reach a legendary bot waiting for them in the finals. If they beat the legendary bot, the team wins money. But it's going to be tough. Can you win a handful of fights and then knock out the baddest bot at the end of the day that's just been sitting there? So yeah, it'll be a load of fights for one team and just that one fight at the end for another. I think these fights are going to be really interesting, really good fun. So I look forward to watching them. And go and read this article, a link to which is on the World of Woodrow Facebook page, as are links to all of this week's news stories, as per bleeding usual. Okay, we're going to move on to this video that came out via Discovery. And it is from a TV show that came out the day before BattleBots. And it's a fight between Black Widow and Mammoth. Spider versus prehistoric elephant. And it is odd. It's very confusing. It is from the Josh Gates Tonight Show, a programme I have never heard of as a Brit, but apparently is a show on Discovery. And there he is taking to the controls of Mammoth. I believe he's doing the weapon. There you can see the one and only Mr. What's his name? Oh, that is really annoying. It's literally just slipped my mind. Pete Abrahamson, that's it. God, blimey. Yeah, so you know, you gotta love a bit of pre-season stuff. It's all good fun. I don't know if it actually goes towards a fight card fight. But it's certainly a fight that's happened. I think it might be a whiteboard fight, but there we are. You can go and check that out over on the World of Woodrow Facebook page and the Discovery Facebook page, where it came from originally. He gets very angry. Main event. Let's talk the main event for this week. We had Tombstone versus Endgame, and if you blinked, you may well have missed it. It was quick. And in 2018, Endgame call out Tombstone, say that they can take them, they'll take them on, they'll beat them, and by God did they. Oh my days. And Uta on Tombstone out of the arena. You don't put Tombstone out of the arena. Nobody does that. And then Endgame swans in and goes, bye! What a fight. There are only 2 moments in Robot Combat history where I have been up out of my seat and sort of, I think my initial reaction was, like, sat here, like, oh my god, I can't believe it. And then I did actually clap the iPad that I was watching it on. Incredible fight, absolutely incredible. Endgame really solid this season. I think they could go very far. They started to show signs of improvement towards the end of last season. Obviously, we saw it with Cobalt, absolutely decimated Cobalt, and then in a post-season whiteboard fight, they went up against Duck and absolutely pwned it. I mean, they KO'd Duck, and again, nobody does that. So Endgame, ones to watch. I think this season they're going to go far. Beating Tombstone, big move there, big power play. Sad news, unfortunately, there's no double jeopardy in this season. They couldn't make it. There was conflicting things going on at the same time, and they just couldn't get there. So unfortunately, no double jeopardy this year. We shall have to wait for the triple shot until next year, I suppose, which is a shame. But you know, these things happen. What can you say? It's a shame. I guess it is a shame. I built a Lego Rusty. There it is. If you wish to download the instructions, they are available over on the Facebook page. That's not really news. That's just on my feed, and there's plenty more where that came from. Yeah, as I said, we've covered this fight already, but Discovery put it up in full on their Facebook page. Oh no, BattleBots did, in fact, as they like to do for one of the fights in each fight card, just as a little taste, a little yes, very nice. And this was a good one to tease because it's a really good fight. Mad Catter, very quick box rush, getting across to Fusion. Fusion gyroing all over the place. The power of those weapons just meant that it was going all over the place. And it was a speed controller that failed on Fusion, meaning that they burst into many, many flames. But that was all that broke. Everything else was fine. But it was the speed controller that killed it. So, you know, what can you do? We're just going to watch that box rush again, because by God, it's big. We've got the fight going on. Oh, yes, there they go. Look, there's the Malice team. Kraken team, you got to love it. Box rush. Boom. Amazing. Really amazing. Dominant all over them. Not really giving him a chance. You can see that gyroing going on there. We're not going to commentate over the whole fight. Somebody else has that job, and their names are Chris and Kenny. 2 Mugs of Tea is back. Oh my God, it's almost been a year. This was one of the first stories I covered this year. In fact, if you scroll back to the first news of this year, 2 Mugs of Tea podcast was one of the first ones we did. And really good fun. I haven't actually listened to it yet. It's my plan this afternoon to listen to it, so I look forward to that, and I suggest you do too. It's over on the Tom Brewster YouTube channel, so make sure you go and check that out, unless it's on the Monsoon YouTube channel. It's on one of them anyway, and there's a link to it on the World of Woodrow Facebook page as usual, so do go and check that out. There's a Lego Thor, as promised to several people in a live stream I did about 2-3 weeks ago. There it is. It's on the Facebook page. Go and check it out. I did a video as well for building a Lego Rusty, so you could see how it goes together. And I've also done a separate weapon section. I don't know if I can view the comments. There it is. You can see the sort of drill style weapon that appeared in BattleBots this week. Now, very exciting. Very, very exciting. I'm going to read this out as a press release. I am thrilled to have been asked to be a part of the Robocast crew alongside host Sam864 and treasured regular Steve the American Killjoy. Anderson is stepping away for this season. We wish him all the best in all that he is doing. I've got some very big shoes to fill for Anderson's place, but I thought it was a really good chat we had last night with Mr. Ed Robinson of Team Sharko. The podcast will be up very soon, so make sure you stay tuned to the Robocast YouTube channel. The season is beginning, and we have got lots to talk about, so look out for all that. We move on to another thing that I've collabed on. It's BattleBots Bingo. I've finally been on Spinnerproof. Oh my God, a dream come true. Yes, Spinnerproof's BattleBots Bingo is back and bigger than ever, with 8 teams taking part this year. 8 teams instead of last year's 3, with categories. I believe there's 125 categories in total, something like that. You can see on the screen now my lovely card. I've got things like Frenemies, Scorpios versus Hijinks have a 1v1. The harder they fall, Chomp's legs take spinner damage. I don't think so. Chief, a team refuses to fight. The eyes have it. Huge wins the giant nut. That's going to be a difficult one. Should have stayed electric. Beta runs out of gas. Possible, it could happen. Sorry about your ceiling. A whole robot hits the ceiling. I'm hopeful with Hydra in the arena. Wedge. Smee wins a fight. Tick, got that one. Woohoo. I'm a fire starter. This was my own one, and my own category seemed to be my own falling. 20 plus fires over the season. I'm already a 10th of the way in because we've had 2 massive fires already. No more apologies. Slammo makes the bracket. Fingers crossed for Craig, Danby and co. Game of Clones. Robot visually likened to another because they're going to at some point, surely. Beat the clock. Robot recovers mid-countout. Could happen. David versus Goliath. Mammoth versus any bot with a mini-bot. I hope so. 'Tis just a flesh wound. Badly damaged bot gets to a judge's decision. I mean, again, it's likely it could happen. Stop, he's already dead. A dead bot keeps getting hit. Likely to happen. Yeeted. Whole robot hits the ceiling / lights. Again, it's sort of like the whole robot hits the ceiling, isn't it? So I could tick off 2 in 1 there. Fingers crossed on that one. And Age of Rust. Rusty unbeaten in pre-season. We are already 1/3 of the way there for that one. Come on, Rusty. Rusty's going to get the nut. You just know it. You just know it. So yeah, if you want to go and check out the episode, there is a link on the World of Woodrow Facebook page where you can see all of the other cards of all of the other competitors, including Oliver from ESC and many other things. David of Smeg, who I helped to make Lego Wars, Ned Allman from ESC, and spoiler alert, the Robocast, as usual, Good Bottle, Charlie Hubbard, who makes the pack, on Robot Arena 2. Spinner Proof, obviously, it's their podcast, and Mr. Psycho. Some really good fun had there that evening, and yeah, look forward to playing bingo. If you see any of these, let me know. Now, Sheffield Roboteers Rumble is back today with another episode. It's the upper bracket round 1. We see 4 more fights and some explosive fights at that. There's some very good stuff happens in all of them, so don't miss a single second of that. It is going to be good fun. And we move on to a couple of posts from the Sawblaze team who talk through what on earth happened in that fight. Well, lots happened in that fight. I think if we press C more, we'll get to see. So obviously you can see some pictures there of what happened, and it's kind of this picture here I want you to try and focus on. We'll try and zoom in on it a little bit. You can see the damage that Sawblaze did to that side. It is broken. So this section here is one of the switches that I believe they hit. You can see all bent and buckled here. This piece here should be here, or should it be there? It should be there. This is obviously all bent and broken. This is the battery box, so it could have been close to a lipo fire. Yeah, Sawblaze has just done them dirty, really, gone across all of that. Sawblaze did not come off unhurt. We're going to come back to the story in a second. So Whiplash managed to get through to the hub. They managed to do some damage here when they cut through the tyre here. They've obviously taken chunks out of all this. Now this is the one that I want to show you. This one here. Whiplash have hit here, and this is the weapon belt. So if this piece hadn't have been there, the weapon belt would have been hit, cut, and the weapon would have gone down. Would have been a very different fight indeed had that have happened, but that's how close it was. It didn't seem to look very close, but the Sawblaze team did well to armour up there. So oh, and that's the other one, yeah, just above the switches. You can see Whiplash has been across here as well. So yeah, this is the switches for the weapon specifically. So if the weapon had gone down via switch or via belt, it could have been a very different story. But Sawblaze take that first win, and the last story is here, which is from BattleBots themselves, and they have told you about a few podcasts you can listen to for some behind the scenes at BattleBots information, which I will be going and listening to this week at some point. So first up, an interview with BattleBots executive producer and showrunner Aaron Catling. Learn how the fight card matchups are created and what a day in the life of TV showrunner entails. Looking forward to listening to that one. It's the sort of stuff I'm very interested in. Next, the 2-part interview with Pete Abrahamson, aka the Bot Whisperer. Learn about Pete's background in special effects, robotics, and what uniquely qualifies him to be our resident robot combat expert. 2 links there. And finally, check out Adam Savage's and Norman Chan's interview with BattleBots founder and executive producer Greg Munson. They discuss the challenges of producing the 2020 season, Grant Imahara honorary trophy, and Thanksgiving dinners. Sounds delicious, and Grant Imahara's honorary trophies, really nice tribute to pay to the man. I really like to hear that sort of thing. So yeah, that is this week's news. Good Lord, there's been a lot of it. Obviously, BattleBots is back, well and truly back, so you can look forward to lots of action from BattleBots coming all this season, and the news isn't going anywhere. We're not stopping for December. As you can see, we're still on air at this very point in time, so there is plenty more to come from the news this year. Forgot what we were called then, forgot what any of this was. Anyway, that is it for the news segment. Let's just run through a few of your comments before we end today's stream. Hypershock versus Gruff is going to be fun. Yes, it very much is. Yep, Axe Backwards has flamethrowers, and they throw flames. Through flames? That's it. Rusty for the giant nut. Of course, there is no other option. You gotta do it. How did people not know Rusty could not self-right? I'm pretty sure there was a video on Facebook of it. I'm pretty sure I shared it in the news. If I didn't, I certainly meant to. But yes, Rusty can self-right. very exciting. I believe the next fight card will be available for supporters tomorrow. Righto. Sawblaze and Beta, geez, that's a bit much for the rookie. You know, I reckon he can take him. Even though Mad Catter won the match, Fusion did some decent damage to them. It did. I think it took out the weapon. So yeah, it really is powerful, but maybe too powerful for its own good. The bounty battles are going to be fun. Yes, they are. What is Chris holding there? It is a wheel from a previous season, I believe. I can't remember whose wheel, but it's an old photo. It's not from this season. Congrats to Endgame. Yeah, massive congrats to Endgame for doing it to him. You gotta love it. Decent debut for Fusion regardless. I agree. It was a strong showing from them. Really good fight. I think Hydra just might be able to score a roof shot this year. I hope so, because I have a lot riding on it. Hopefully Whiplash can recover from the loss. I'm sure they can. They come with lots of spares and things, so you know, they'll be back, definitely. They might be able to yeet a robot to the ceiling against Witch Doctor, fingers crossed. If it touches the ceiling, that is what we're looking for. It needs to touch the top. If it touches lights, I get one of them. If it touches the ceiling, I get both of them. So I'm hoping for ceiling, but I will settle for lights. Whiplash had a tough first matchup. It should be better going forward for them. Yep. They should have gone in with Wedge. No, I think the tactic they went for is pretty good. So they deliberately didn't go to Wedge so that they could armour the top a bit more. They had shock-mounted armour on the very top of the machine so that it took a bit longer for Sawblaze to get through it. They put the big sort of fronts on to stop the blows of the spinner from hitting them quite so easily from the front, which worked. It really did work to their favour. So, you know, I think it was the right tactic. It was just Sawblaze armoured as well, and they couldn't get through that. I believe they went with the high flat panels. Yeah, there you go, that's what I've said. We still haven't seen Ice Wave. No, I believe they may well be in the bounty battles only. Same might be said for Bronco as well. I don't think they're going to be in the main season. We could get an endgame Hexbug. I'm hoping for a Bloodsport Hexbug, and I'm hoping for even more, having seen Chaotic Robotics Hexbug Custom. If you haven't seen it, go and check out Chaotic Robotics' YouTube channel. He's done this Hexbug Custom Bloodsport made out of a Bite Force toy. It is amazing. I love it, and I want to make one myself. But if Hexbug are going to make one, please. Bloodsport versus Scorpios, we haven't discussed. I meant to share a video. They literally just put a video up on their Facebook page, no, on their YouTube channel even, to show off that fight and what happened in it. So yeah, if you haven't seen that, you do need to go and check it out. I am going to share it to the World of Woodrow Facebook page right this very second. So wait for that, wait for it, wait for it, wait for the good hit. There it is. It should be there right now. So fingers crossed, if I refresh this and we go back to the news on Facebook, then you should be able to see Bloodsport fight recap. And they're going to go through the Bloodsport team, showing off what happened to Scorpios in that match. And what they did. I'm very excited. I'm looking forward to it. So yeah, do check that out as well. I meant to do that before I came on air, but I realised I was late, so I came straight on. But yes, that is about it. I think they need to use the original bar, like the long one with the extra bits on the sort of curved cutting sections as well, for the or the tri-bar. Yeah, the tri-bar would, I think. I don't know which one I prefer. I think the tri-bar is their sort of main one for this year, but you know, all of them maybe. Maybe this is the year that we get to see interchangeable weaponry in Hexbug toys. I've always said that it might be worth it. So things like, I would buy a custom weapons pack. So if you could have a kit to change out Tombstone's bar to make it lots of different things, a kit to change up the front of Witch Doctor, the sides of Minotaur to have the wheel sections on, to have, who else have we had? Bite Force front wedge, like the full front wedge, the rotator to have different configurations. That would be very difficult. But yeah, things like that. I would love like a Bloodsport kit that came with Bloodsport in the middle and then all of the different weapon configurations that you could attach to the robot. It looked like they were going to go down that route with the rotator toy because you can take off the discs. Maybe we will get to see it, who knows. But that is what I would like to see. Yeah, we haven't got long to find out what they might do. I mean, New York Toy Fair is in February, so, you know, it's not that long to wait, really. Yeah. Hexbug, if you're listening, which you may well be because I managed to predict a couple of the toys for this year, please can we have Bloodsport toy and maybe an Endgame toy? Just suggestions. I'd also settle for a Gruff toy, a Hypershock toy, please, a Hypershock toy. Yes, a Hypershock toy. I need a Hypershock toy. Hypershock toy, please give me a Hypershock toy. I need a Hypershock toy. Thank you. Many other things. Yes, Blacksmith's Forks, that was another one. But yes, Hypershock toy. Need a Hypershock toy. Hypershock. Please. Or Rusty. Rusty versus Hypershock. Let's do it. Let's make that the Hexbug set. I will certainly be making a Hexbug Rusty at some point because you've got to, haven't you? You've just got to. And it'd be pretty easy to do, I think. Anyway, that is probably it for this week. Hope you've enjoyed this video. If you have, give it a like, do subscribe to the channel if you are new. Make sure you check out World of Woodrow over on Facebook for links to all of this week's news stories, and make sure to watch BattleBots, continue watching BattleBots for now and forever. Amen. Yes, BattleBots is back. I like big bots, and I cannot lie. Thank you for watching, and I shall see you all next week for more news. Probably. Definitely. Bye! It's all good fun, isn't it?